What's going on, guys? This is Justin, and this is UFC 143 predictions. If you haven't yet, go ahead and check out my UFC 142 recap and wrap up. It'll be right up there in a little annotation. So, getting to it, UFC 143, Diaz versus Condit, taking place in Las Vegas on February 4th. There is quite a lot of fights in between UFC 142 and 143. Rashad Evans versus Phil Davis. You have some pretty big fights in there. You have Chael Sonnen fighting. You have a lot of names in there and different UFC on Fuel, as it's now called. But getting to it. Starting off, we're going to start off with the middleweight bout. We have Ed Herman against Clifford Starks, and we're just going to go ahead and do the predictions for the main card here, not the prelims. So we have Ed Herman, who's 3-3 in his last 6 fights, known for submissions, really good on the ground. Clifford Starks with 1 win in the octagon. He is undefeated. He's 8-0, but only 1 fight in the octagon. I am going to be taking Starks by decision in this one. I think his wrestling will dictate the fight. I think he will ground and pound Ed Herman, but I don't believe that he will be able to finish him. So moving on to the bantamweight bout, we have Renan Barão against Scott Jorgensen. Renan is actually 27-1, and his only loss was his first MMA fight, so he is on a 27-fight win streak, which is crazy to think about. He's a black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Scott Jorgensen, on the other hand, a very, very good wrestler. Also has a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I should just say BJJ. But I'm going to be taking Barão by submission here. He has a lot of submissions on his resume. Seen a lot of his fights. He's just really, really good on the ground. Not quite, if you think back to UFC 142, and the leg lock guy, if he gets you on the ground, gets a hold of a leg, you're done. Pretty close, the same with Barão, except for if he gets you on the ground, you're going to get submitted. So Barão to win there. Moving on to the welterweight bout, we have Josh Koscheck against Mike Pierce. Josh Koscheck, if you don't remember, his last fight was against Matt Hughes. It was a while ago, I believe at UFC 135. And before that, it was the loss to George St. Pierre. So Mike Pierce and Josh Koscheck, both very decorated Division I wrestlers, both very good wrestlers. I'm going to be taking Koscheck by knockout here. He was smart. He knew he had good wrestling. He's been working on a stand-up for a while. I don't expect him to have a lot of ring rust. He's still kind of fairly young. So I believe that he will come in there and put a beating on Mike Pierce. Moving on to the co-main event, we have Roy Big Country Nelson against Fabricio Werdum. Roy Nelson coming off that win against Mirko Krokop, which it was the end of his career, put him into retirement. He probably should have retired before that fight. He got to that level where you just get clipped and you go down. But Fabricio Werdum beat Fedor Emelianenko 2 fights ago, and then lost to Alistair Overeem in his last fight, I believe. I think that this is going to be a good fight. They're both very well versed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But Roy Big Country, he needs to get in better shape or something. I understand that big stomach is kind of a joke, and he likes to fool around with it, but I think for him to compete at a big level with guys like Cain Velasquez, the champion Junior Dos Santos, Fabricio Werdum, Alistair Overeem, guys like that, I just think that he has to get in shape. So I will be taking Fabricio Werdum here by knockout. I expect this fight to be standing. If Roy gets him to the ground, it's not good news for Fabricio, but Fabricio is very well versed off of his back. And moving on to the interim welterweight championship, which is Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit. We are having this interim welterweight championship because of George St. Pierre's injury. Was supposed to be Nick Diaz versus GSP, which would have been a great fight. But I think this one is going to be exciting as well. Nick Diaz won 10 in a row, has won 10 in a row. Carlos Condit 11-1 in his past 12 fights. Both these guys are on tears. Hopefully GSP gets back soon and can fight the winner of this fight, regain his belt possibly. I am going to be taking Nick Diaz here by, I'm going to say technical knockout. He's a really, really good striker. So is Carlos Condit. They're both very well on the ground. They're both very decent wrestlers. Nick Diaz, I think, is a better boxer than Carlos Condit. And him and his brother throw those, little 50% punches, but they land a lot, and I just think that he will beat up Carlos Condit in this fight. Eventually, he'll hit him, knock him down, and get that win by technical knockout. So, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.